Once upon a time, the Vault Hunters played a game.
We have at last received the final piece of content for Borderlands 2 Season Pass, which I concluded in my previous review for it was pretty awesome up to this date and worth every penny. However, does Tiny Tina's Assault on Dragon's Keep add a cherry on top of this excellent package, or does it tarnish everything we love about Borderlands? The story of Tiny Tina's Assault on Dragon Keep begins with Tina spinning a tale of bunkers and badasses, but has no similarity to our well-known tabletop game. Here she will guide the former Vault Hunters through the world of B&B, which is covered in rainbows and sunshine and... wait a sec.
It's a lovely day in Flame Rock Refuge, a far cry from—
Wait, didn't you just say the sorcerer messed up the town? Why would things be lovely?
Whoops. What I meant to say is, it's eternal night, and you hear spooky music, and the whole area kind of smells like butts and dead people. I smell butts and dead people.
That's more like it. As you can see from this piece of add-on content, the world could change at any second because of the setting itself being controlled by Tina. It makes for some interesting encounters and you will never know what will happen around any corner.
Wait, how in the hell are we supposed to kill these things?
Ah! My bad! I'll fix it! Anarchy on, let me fix it!
Anarchy!
Your quest here is one to rescue the princess from the handsome sorceress with the help of Roland, who Tina is having problems realising is actually dead. Spoilers! You will run into a lot of characters of old who will portray different fantasy NPCs in the game, with a special guest role from my new favourite character, Mr. Torgues.
Whoop, time out. I gotta take this. This Tina.
It's Mr. Torgues! Tina! Put me in the game!
Okay, the gatekeeper is now Mr. Torgues.
Woo! Good to see you! Wow!
Set in the world of B&B, expect to see all your classic fantasy world tropes of orcs, skeletons, corrupt knights, dragons, dwarves and more. This is the biggest add-on to date with vast areas to explore and plenty of side quests to keep you busy. Tina will guide you through the Forest of Tranquility.
Tranquility? Boring!
Okay, good point. Dang, now I gotta come up with a better name for the forest. I've got it!
Sorry, I mean the forest of being eaten alive by trees, undead ruins of old, and into the depths of dwarven mines to come out again to the handsome sorcerer's tower, which looks similar to a certain space station. Quests in the add-on tackle a lot of tropes in fantasy games, pop culture and computer gaming itself. The game is full of references, including a quest line based on Game of Thrones and even Downton Abbey of all things.
You shall not pass!
The writer who wrote all the stories for Borderlands 2 has gone all out, and you can tell he is a massive geek at heart, which comes across in his writing and dialogue. However, if you didn't like the stuff in the original Borderlands 2, you may get annoyed with this. I enjoyed it, however. Every enemy you will encounter is brand new as well. From what I can tell, there is not one single reskin model, and there are a lot of different enemies with new attacks and abilities at their disposal, such as the relentless skeletons who, after defeating them, will come back to life if you don't pull the sword out of them, to the Magi who can summon an array of deadly spells to incinerate you. Even though a lot of the enemies are melee opponents who will charge into your bullets, they will not go down as easily with an array of protections on them and resistances to the more popular elemental type weapons in the game. There are 5 new bosses you'll encounter during your quest, which offer a fair bit of challenge if you're going through solo for the first time, but it's mainly an endurance fight most of the time. But that's not why you come to Borderlands. You come for the loot, and there is a metric ton of new weaponry to get. From grenades that you fling like magical spells, to shotguns that fire swords.
But what if the sword you shoot explodes and then turns into 3 smaller swords which then explode? It will be like a sword explosion! Tina, make Roland's gun do the things I just said!
Okay.
Then there are new loot chests that have D20 dice on them that you can roll for better quality loot, or use Iridium resources to roll 2 dice for a higher chance of better loot. There's something thrilling about seeing a dice roll a 20 and you get some awesome loot. Then you've got the new slot machines that you can bid Iridium against for better loot. There are even shrines which you can use Iridium on to restore health, ammo, increase damage and defense in the middle of combat. The developers have done this since players didn't have anything to spend this not too rare resource on. The game add-on can take between 6 to 12 hours to complete, depending on if you're doing all the side quests or not, and offer a fair challenge for single players. But what can you do after you finish the campaign? Well, you've got a new arena to attest your survivability in, and a new Seraph Guardian raid boss with lots of loot for 4 players who can kill these dragons. P.S. Don't try this solo. You can't. The ending is also a nice way to end the story of Borderlands 2, and hopefully they're hinting at one more piece of DLC set on the Hyperion space station, but who can say? This could be the tutorial for Border Worlds. The visual art style has brought the rest of the post-apocalyptic world of Borderlands in line with a fantasy aesthetic, from the vending machines to your characters shouting expel names when throwing certain grenades. New music has been composed for this expansion, but there aren't any standout combat tracks like in the previous add-ons, but I do have a fondness for the music used in the new town Flame Rock Refuge. Tiny Tina's assault on Dragon's Keep should be definitely bought by all Borderlands 2 fans. Even though the season pass started off badly with Captain Scarlet and her pirate beauty, the add-ons have got better and better the further we've gotten in, and it's been topped off with this delicious cherry that is Tiny Tina's assault on Dragon's Keep. In my last video, I saw a lot of people asking me for the full contents of the season pass. You have Captain Scarlet and her pirate booty, Mr. Torgues' campaign of Carnage, Sir Hammerlock's big game hunt, Tiny Tina's assault on Dragon's Keep, and a new difficulty that increases the level cap to 61 and adds a new game plus. You don't get the Mecromacer or the Psycho character, which has to be purchased separately. All in all, the season pass is worth it for the full amount of money since it adds 20 hours of content and is quite varied. With summer here, expect crazy digital sales that happen around this time every year. If you've enjoyed this review, subscribe to my channel and check out my other reviews on my channel. Bye bye!
I'm sorry I cut off Mr. Sean's head, alright? I'm sorry!